I'm Emily Honkin, and I'm an athletic trainer at Northwestern College. I'm here in my office with one of the wrestlers on our team who is asking for some nutrition advice. I am a 20-year-old collegiate wrestler, and I have been weight cycling in order to compete. What should I be consuming on competition days, specifically after weigh-ins and between matches on tournament days, in order to fuel my body for competition? As an athletic trainer, I'm not licensed to give you specific recommendations as to what you should be eating. However, I can tell you what the research on this subject suggests for someone in your situation. Many wrestlers struggle with maintaining their weight throughout the season, and as a result, they must make sacrifices in the days and hours leading up to competition in order to make weight. There are a variety of ways to do this, such as extra exercise, dehydration, and skipping meals. The combination of these factors leaves many wrestlers feeling weak by the time weigh-ins are completed. Thankfully, there is a requirement of 1 to 2 hours between weigh-ins and the start of competition that allows wrestlers to eat and rehydrate to prepare for their matches. During this time, it may be confusing to decide what to consume. You want to eat and drink water so you are rehydrated and refueled for your match, but you don't want to consume too much that you feel dragged down or waterlogged while wrestling. It is important to find the right foods and the right amounts to consume to fit your own personal situation. A 7-minute wrestling match requires much different nutrient consumption than endurance exercises such as running a marathon. There is a lack of research specific to competition day nutrition in wrestlers. However, I found a few studies relating to other combat sports and sports requiring weigh-ins prior to competition. Combat sports such as wrestling place a high demand on the body to perform. Short bursts of intense exercise can deplete your body's energy sources. A 2011 study by Hoffman and Maresh discussed the importance of each nutrient, especially water, for combat athletes. Hoffman and Maresh recommend the daily consumption of about 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight to enhance strength performance. In their 2011 study, they suggest that athletes consume protein immediately before training, as they discovered an enhanced rate of delivery and muscular amino acid uptake as compared to protein consumption after exercise. Since carbohydrates are the main fuel for your body in your particular type of exercise, Hoffman and Maresh emphasize the importance of maintaining your carbohydrate levels before competition and replenishing them after competition. The types of carbohydrates you consume are also important. Hoffman and Maresh suggest that athletes consume 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates about 3 or 4 hours before competition. However, this may not be ideal for wrestlers who are trying to make weight. According to Hoffman and Maresh, the research suggests that any carbohydrates consumed close to the start of competition should consist of low glycemic index foods in order to reduce the risk of a sugar crash. There is also evidence to suggest the consumption of carbohydrates during exercise. Hoffman and Maresh recommend liquid ingestion in this situation, such as Gatorade. According to Hoffman and Maresh, the most important factor to consider is hydration. Water is lost when you breathe and sweat and must be replaced. They recommend athletes consume 500 milliliters of water 2 hours before exercise and an additional 200 milliliters within 20 minutes of competition. Since time is limited for your food and water consumption after weigh-ins, it may be difficult to meet these recommendations. A 2014 study by Pedersen and Berg suggests that consuming 1.2 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of your body weight, or a combination of 0.8 grams of carbohydrates and 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram body weight, may be more attainable. In their study, Pedersen and Berg also noticed that the greatest percentage of intake and weight gain after weigh-ins came from water. According to Pedersen and Berg's 2014 study, carbohydrate intake in wrestlers on competition day is much lower than the recommended amount. A 2007 study by Slater et al. Suggests that fluid intake is the most important factor in improving performance after weigh-ins. This study was performed on lightweight rowers. When Slater et al. compared the effects of different meals on performance, they discovered a greater improvement on performance when meals focused on fluid intake rather than meals higher in carbohydrates and sodium. Slater et al. Suggests that meals combining fluid, carbohydrates, and sodium have the greatest effect on performance. This is what they recommend for consumption after weigh-ins. Based on all of this research, it appears that hydration should be your greatest concern, followed by carbohydrate intake. If you follow the advice of these researchers, you may attain your desired results. I would like to see further research done on this subject in order to help you find what the best recommendations for wrestlers like you should be in this particular situation, but this was the best information available to me. If you would like, you are more than welcome to schedule a meeting with our strength and conditioning coach who has his master's degree in nutrition and exercise. I'm sure he would be happy to give you more specific recommendations for your dietary needs on competition day.